I was just saying epidural, epidural, epidural. One push and the baby came out. I'm so excited to be doing this video. I've been planning on doing it for a long time, but now finally my baby is 1 year old, and I'm going to tell you guys the story of how I had my baby in 2.5 hours. Yeah, 2 hours and some minutes. It was a quick birth. This is a positive birth story, guys. What happened was, so what happened was this. I was really hoping that this baby was going to come early. At 37 weeks, I was waiting, we're prepared. I got all my bags and everything sorted, and it was time to go to hospital. This baby just did not want to come. I was so tired. My pelvic area was on fire every time because I don't know, the baby was just pushing on my pelvic bone. It was so painful. I was walking around, but every time I was walking, I had this very funny gait. I was just walking and it looked funny. I was always laughing at myself. First thing I tried was I tried the raspberry leaf tea, and this was before my due date. My due date was still 3 weeks away, but I was tired of carrying this pregnancy. I just wanted this baby to come out. I was drinking it every day thinking this thing will work. It did not work. Then I went on to eat these dates. Oh god, dates. Dates are terrible. They're the worst things I've ever had. It did not work, guys. Then I went on YouTube and I was doing all that exercise, back and forth and all, going upside down, doing like a lot of bendings and everything that I would not advise anybody to do. So I was doing all that exercise, nothing happened. I was feeling a little bit of cramping, but it wasn't enough I was just like, God, can this pain just come, please? Usually you're scared of labor, but no, I wasn't. I was tired of being pregnant, guys. I'm sure a lot of pregnant women have experienced at that end time. That time is so frustrating because everybody was calling me like, have you had a baby? I couldn't even pick my phone anymore. I wasn't chatting with anybody because I was so upset and tired. I tried the nipple stimulation. I yanked out my electric pump, breast pump. I was pumping and trying to get colostrum out, thinking that would help stimulate labor. So I was feeling a little amount of pain. So a little cramping. I was like, oh God, it's starting. And someone was like, yay, it's starting. I kid you not, this baby was just staying put in my stomach. It just did not want to come out. I was so frustrated. I was so frustrated. I went to my friend's trampoline because I don't have a trampoline in my garden. I was jumping up and down. She got really scared because she just thought that by the time I jump up and down, this baby's just going to fall off in our garden. I lamented to my midwife continuously, like, can you just, do something about this? Do something. She just said that I had the baby before, so there was no need to, induce me because I just was ready to be induced. Like, eventually, I went to the hospital and then they did this cervical membrane sweep. Midwife also does it, but I was begging my midwife to do it, but she wasn't ready. She said she was going to do it at 40 weeks. At that point, I started feeling pain, but the pain was not strong enough to, I've had a baby before, so I knew how the pain was. Like, the cramps were not enough to, go to hospital. Even the doctor said I was like 1 to 2 cm dilated at that time, but that wasn't enough, so I was sent back home. And then I made an appointment with my midwife after 40 weeks. So she said she's going to do something called aromatherapy. I wasn't even impressed at all with the whole like aromatic therapy and all that. But when I went online and I checked about it and everything, and I realized that it's been used a lot of times and it really works. So I said, okay, let me do it. So she actually went on to do the therapy, which she used clary sage oil on some points on my body. At the time she was already pressing the points, I was already feeling like some form of, contractions, but they were just not really strong enough. But I just needed it to be stronger than that. And maybe my pain threshold was like really strong. And then she advised that my husband continues helping with those points, pressing it in, and then for me to have a warm bath. Meanwhile, I had been having very long baths. The amount of warm baths that I had for that pregnancy, it was a lot. Like, I was having warm baths every day. And guess what, guys? At that day, I was still snapping pictures. I had this black tie dress on. I was doing pictures and I was doing, snapping pictures. I'll put the pictures up here somewhere for you guys. Meanwhile, this baby was already planning to come out. So I went home, did it, tried again. I tried it again with my husband, and we just, did the whole shebang. In my mind, I'm like, hopefully it works. I had the bath, wore the black dress again. The sense in me didn't tell me that, don't wear this tight dress, wear something free. But no, I said no. I still had to, look nice to go to hospital. It was already like almost getting to midnight. I was laying down, trying my best to, have a bit of nap. I just realized that I couldn't really have the nap, but the contractions were increasing. So I'm not sure if it was the aromatherapy that worked, or baby was ready, or it was the cervical sweep. But I think a combination of everything just pushed this baby out. By 1 a.m. or so, I just went to tell him that, see, husband, it's time to go to the hospital. I can't stand this pain anymore. Get all my bags and everything and let us start to go. So it still took us like some minutes to, get ready. By 2 a.m., I went to hospital. My husband was still looking for a parking space. So I walked in myself, saw my colleague, and then like, Larry, you're not okay, right? I'm like, of course, can't you see that I'm pregnant and I'm in pain? All right. So at the time I got to the delivery suite, when I got to the door, I found that I couldn't even press the bell. I was feeling very strong contractions. It felt like, something was pressing down. So the pain is just like your menstrual cramps where, the pain comes, then it goes down. No, so it's like waxing and waning. So that's what it was doing. So I got to the room where I was going to deliver and they just could not get this dress. I'm like, get this dress off. So I don't even know how I just, got it like tearing off my body, and they eventually got the dress off me. They checked me. I was like 6 a.m. already at the time, and I go, okay. I just said, please, I need epidural. From the door, I actually told them from the nurses station, epidural, guys, call the anesthetist, call the anesthetist. Epidural, I'm not listening, I'm not doing this thing without medication, call the anesthetist. So they had already believed the anesthetist to come to see me. So the guy came in and said, okay, all right, so epidural, have you had epidural? I'm like, yes, I had epidural in my last baby, so give me epidural, I'm ready. And then he said, no, that he's going to do a blood test that would come out in like 30 minutes. And also, I'm like, why are you doing a blood test? Please, just give me the epidural. I'm fine. It's like, no, he just needs to see my blood level, my platelets, my this, that. Meanwhile, I work in that hospital and I know that blood tests most times don't come very fast that way. Sometimes it takes as long as an hour or more. He took the blood and everything, and I was just saying epidural. Epidural, oh, epidural did not come. I was waiting and waiting. I never got this epidural. As in, before I digress, all right, so the pain was a lot and everything, so they gave me morphine and anti-sickness, because in my last baby I was throwing up all through the delivery, so, and I didn't want that to happen. I don't know if he actually did anything, because I was feeling sleepy in between. So all the times that the contraction was, going down, like every time that he was giving me a break, I was feeling sleepy. Then the pain is there again. So I'm not even sure if the morphine actually was even a good idea. I was offered gas and air, which at first I'm like, no. I tried the first time, and I just saw that no, this thing was even making me feel very anxious. So I stopped taking it. So I didn't use the gas and air. No, after like an hour, I was checked again and I was 8 cm. Like it was going really, really, really fast. Then at some point, I just felt like, no, guys, I need to pee. They bought a catheter to help me get the pee out. So they tried and, got pee out. But I said, no, I still need to pee. So the urge was really strong to pee. So I was really trying. Apparently, it was just the baby that was pressing on my bladder all that time. I don't want to scare anybody, but labor pain is crazy. I had to tell myself that it's just for a short time, it would go. It's just for a short time. I tried my best to distract myself all that time that the contractions were very strong. I didn't have any strength to, scream, shout. I was just like, as in, that's it. Like, and they're really, really nice midwives. Like, I had the midwife tell me, just hold me, don't worry about it. So every time the contractions, like, I just want to hold something really tightly. Then later on, my husband resumed and I'm like, I'm going to grab you. So when the contractions come and I don't have anything to grab onto, it's like more painful in my, I don't know why that was happening. I'm really a drama queen usually, but I wasn't really too much of a drama queen during labor like that. I was just, kind of chilled. Yeah. I'm not sure if this is the same story my husband would say. At the time, I was feeling like I wanted to really bear down. They told me, Lara, open your legs, let's see the baby. Because it felt like they just knew that the baby was already almost there. That's why I was feeling that pressure on my bladder. So I couldn't, so they told me to try the gas and air. Meanwhile, they told me to try it from the beginning, but I just felt like, no, I tried it, but it felt like it was making me anxious and it wasn't working. So this time around, I said, okay, let me do it correctly. Like breathe in and out into it. Don't take it off. Just continue, sucking on the gas, which I tried, and it felt like it was working. It just felt like I was falling into a tunnel. And then everyone's voice sounded like, you know, when you suck on a balloon that has helium filled in it, that's actually how everyone's voice was sounding like. And it was funny to me. So I'm not sure. I think I was laughing because I asked my husband, like, what was I doing? He said I was just really, really funny. That's what I was doing when I was trying to have this baby. Okay, if I have a baby ever and go into labor, I'll try gas and air. That's what I know I would try before I even talk about my epidural, because usually I am all about epidural. Anyone that knows me knows that epidural or nothing. It's time to push this baby out. Push now. I start laughing. I'm pushing. I remember myself, like, I actually thought I was pushing. I was not actually pushing. I was just, everything was just sounding funny to me. So I wasn't taking anything serious, but I just could not control it. I've never taken drugs before, but it just felt like, when you're on drugs, maybe. I think maybe that's what you feel like. But it felt like I was high on something. I was high on that gas and air. As soon as I took it off, I just realized that I was back to earth again. And I pushed the baby, just one push, and it came out. That was it. And that was it totally. One push and baby came out. My baby came out in 2.5 hours after I got to hospital. So I got to hospital at 2:30 a.m. and I delivered the baby at like almost 5 o'clock. It was that quick. It was a very, very quick delivery, and the pain was very bearable. My plan was only to have epidural, but I didn't need it. So I would advise anybody, you can try the gas and air if it's available for you. During the time I was in pain, when I was in pain and trying to, push this, like when I was in pain and contractions were strong, I just was distracting myself. I was thinking of a lot of things not pertaining to my own delivery. And it worked because my mind was just away. Our threshold, pain threshold is totally, totally different. Different people have different thresholds, but you can try different methods like, a bit of gas and air, a little of the morphine, which I didn't really like because it was making me sleepy. And then, trying to put your mind in like positive things, trying to think of other things, it would actually help. So that's my birth story without epidural, guys. So my baby is 1 year old now. I've been wanting to do this for a long, long time, and now I finally am able to upload this video. Hopefully this has helped somebody. So if you're pregnant right now, don't worry about labor. Have your labor plans ahead of time. Have a discussion with your midwife or your doctor. But whatever happens on that day happens, all right? So if it's an unmedicated birth, that's good. If you need epidural, please use epidural. All right, please use epidural if you really, really need it. So if they say no, it's cesarean section, please go for it. The most important thing is that you have a beautiful, healthy baby, okay? Then if you're hoping to have a baby, don't worry. 2023 is your year. Yes, you're going to have that beautiful bouncing baby. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Ask me any questions. I would be glad to respond to you guys. Thank you. Bye.